G'day ladies and gents, and welcome to the Cold Water stream today. How are we doing all? What have we got here? 7 viewers at the moment. Okay. So, today's stream we are going to be doing... sorry, choke on that. Today's stream we'll be doing a little bit of Cold Waters. I'll be starting a new campaign for 1984. This one will be one that I'll just be running on the stream. Now, I'm running this one today because this is going to be my last opportunity for probably the next 24 hours to actually get a video up on the main channel and to do something. For those of you who missed last night's stream, I mentioned it there, having a few issues with the operating system. Sorry, getting coffee down at the moment. Having a few issues with the operating system on this end, which happens. Doing this kind of work tends to beat the living hell out of the operating system a little. And I'm a little bit overdue for a reinstall. Tried to do a patch-up fix last night, it wasn't enough. So once the stream's done, I get to spend the rest of the day having fun completely reinstalling the operating system on my computer from scratch. So we'll be starting, as I said, new 1984 campaign. Because of the fix I did last night, I had to reinstall Cold Waters. I am not entirely sure if the mods took, so I may be playing this vanilla. But we'll see what happens. So, since I actually have the opportunity to do this for the first time, we have a few options for submarines to select. So, I'm not going to pick it, I'm going to let the stream pick it. We have currently 10 viewers in the channel at this time. We have the Los Angeles class nuclear attack submarine, the Narwhal class nuclear attack submarine, the Sturgeon class, and the Permit class. Well, we have the Skipjack as well, but we're not going to do the Skipjack. I'm taking that off the table. So, what is everybody's opinions? What should we be bringing out for today? Also, let me know in the chat if the stream is running stable. The net seems to be playing better today than it was last night, so hopefully we won't have too much in the way of dropouts. Possible submarine-wise. Narwhal's slow, but she's stealthy. Sturgeon is old, but she has Mark 48. Sturgeon's probably the go, and Permits say, yeah, no, not Permit. And, yeah, not Skipjack. This thing is loud. This thing makes the Soviet boats look quiet, so we'll skip those two. I want to have at least something modern if I'm going to be playing with the modern subs. I will be playing on elite difficulty level. Yeah, no, well, yeah, we'll try the Sturgeon. It's an older boat. This is actually probably the submarine that I'm going to be playing in the 1968 campaign that I'll be starting on channel soon. It will be the 1968 version of the Sturgeon, however, so it will not have the Mark 48 torpedoes. Yep, okay, Sturgeon it is. What do we got? Speed. Test depth, 1,320 feet. Just familiarising myself with the submarine a little bit. Oh, this should be interesting. All right. So, Commander Mags, new command assignment, effective immediately. You're hereby assigned to Sturgeon-class submarine, USS Hawkbill, SSN 666. With a number like that, this is going to be an interesting time. All right. Yeah, I didn't think anyone was actually going to pick the Los Angeles. I've done the Los Angeles on channel before, so... And it's kind of, in 1984, it's the most powerful thing in the ocean. So, what will Reaganism mean for us US foreign relations? Yes, this is just a lead up to everything that caused this conflict we're about to take part in. Interestingly, some of this is actually based on real life events. Soviets down a civilian airliner. Perishing missiles deployed in West Germany. Soviets thought nuclear drill Able Archer was real. Something like that actually happened in real life too. Soviets attack and the war is declared. Okay, so the Hawkbill mission orders. Intelligence has concerned a pattern of movements of enemy at sea. Replenishment tankers and tenders. Small enemy force, including one or two of these ships, is expected to sail from Murmansk shortly, rendezvousing near the Soviet coast. You're ordered to find and sink this group before it completes replenishment of enemy forces. You'll also get a chance at the enemy submarines this group is intended to support, but the tenders and tankers are the mission target. Yep, okay, fair enough. So, sail from Murmansk shortly for a rendezvous near the Soviet coast. So they're probably not going to be getting too far out, so this is going to be a long trip. Sturgeon is not a fast boat. Alright, so before we depart, let's take a look at our current loadout. God, this thing is anemic on torpedoes. We've got 4 in the tubes. Yeah, 4 in the tubes and 8 loaded. I'm going to have to drop and only carry 2 Moss just so I can get an extra Mark 48 on board. We'll drop that down to 4. Yeah, we'll drop that down to 4. We only need 4 anti-ship missiles. Gets us up to 13. We have no TASMs or TLAMs, which is fine, and everything else is good. And what we're going to do is we're going to reload this tube before we even leave and put a Moss in. I like having 1 Moss on standby. Alright, cast off and away. No, it looks like at least one of the mods has taken. This is the... I think this is one of the mods that I put in for the map with the better improved map. God, this is slow. In the vicinity of the Norwegian Sea, we've been intercepted. I didn't even see this one coming. Resupply vessels reported as moving out of the area. This opportunity has been lost. We were so slow crossing the ocean that we did not actually manage to make the tenders in time. God damn it. Red's reloaded. And this is the catch of not playing the 688, where you don't have the ability to move fast. That's okay. So what's our next mission? We missed that one. They're going to be loaded up. Tactical situation. Intelligence estimates indicate that enemy Spetsnaz commandos will land from submarine in the vicinity of Endoya, Norway. Okay, so we just got to get to that region. And Dover is up here to the north. I think this is actually the replenishment fleet and the submarine. So we're going into combat. Our depth 150 feet. I got our speed down to 10 knots before they intercepted. Shattered, strong breeze, no surface duct, no thermal layer. Oh, that's going to be fun. Status report. 1 Moss, 3 Mark 48s loaded. All hands to battle stations. Now this seems awfully quiet, so I'm just going to go into silent running for the moment. Sorry, just going to make a quick adjustment to controls. Difficulty is on elite, so that is fine. That should be a bit better. And you know what? We're going to actually turn the music up a little bit for this one, just to have something nice in the background. Alright, so... Contact Sierra 1, signature. Let's see what we have here. It's not Humpback. Now, it looked like the surface fleet got to us before the submarines did, so we're likely to have to fight a surface fleet first. And we're getting a ping from out this direction at the moment as well. Nope. Maybe. Sorry if there's any background noise. This is obviously a day stream at the moment, so the kids are up, the dogs are out, and that looks like a Cresta 2. So I'm going to define that as a Cresta 2. Range. Back on board. 27.5 kiluyards. Alright, so let's just cruise here for a moment so I can have a quick chance to go through chat. Don't fuck up. I will do my best. Mags, please don't cause World War III. The Soviets started it. Please pick LA because it's in a lot of movies. I've actually got a pile of videos for the LA class on board. The LA is a beast. You don't have the Real Studs mod with the Sea Wolf or Virginia boats. I don't actually like using the after-modded boats all that much with the Real Subs mod because they are not using the correct physical models because obviously they can't put them in the game yet. The only stuff I like using in the Real Subs mod is submarines that already exist in the game that are currently not playable, like the Soviet boats. I love playing the Alpha. The Alpha is an absolute beast. How do you take your coffee? When I'm generally drinking it like this, flat white with 2, just as a standard. Otherwise I get into the fancier stuff or stronger stuff. If it gets later in the night, I generally drink it black, no sugar. Will you ever stream PUBG? I actually streamed PUBG. It's the second stream I ever did. I had a crap time. But yeah, I'll definitely stream it again. Do I have to say you've really got to turn up my TV to hear you compared to the other streams? I can adjust the volumes here to give it a little bit more. That should improve things a little bit for you there. Getting the audio levels right is still something that I am working on. Can't be too loud in a submarine. No, we cannot. No, 688 is the Los Angeles class. Yeah, they've been able to mod it to look pretty close to the Seawolf, but it's still not the Seawolf. And, well, to be perfectly honest, in that Real Subs mod, when they actually get the ability to put in new 3D models, the one that I'm really interested in playing are the European subs. You know, well, the Australian too. I would love to try this campaign, but in a Collins class. What do we have here? I better go back just in case. Oh, hello. We have a Kara. So we have a Kara and a Cresta. Alright, so 20 kilojoules, 17 on the Cresta, the Kara rather. We've got a much stronger signal, 62 on that one. Alright, bring the nose around a little bit here. Still going to keep it nice and slow. Actually, we're going to use a little time acceleration here because we can actually speed things up on the stream. Just make this turn a little quicker. Hopefully we can bring the towed array around so that we'll actually get a better feed on the Cresta when it goes active, which it's about to because we just hit 95% on the Kara. So we have her nice and clear to see. Torp 1, we are not going to go... No, we don't need active sensor. We are going to run shallow. We're only 150 feet down, but that should be fine. And judging from angle... Yeah, we should be good to not break a wire, I hope. Yeah, angle... Yeah, we're not going to be able to hide the transient, but we'll see what happens. Torpedo 1 in the water. While our torpedo is sailing away, we're going to quickly check the Cresta. Currently it's 67 solution, so we are getting a better solution on it as the towed array is coming into line to actually get a signal. The low visibility mod definitely hasn't taken, which is unfortunate, but that's going to happen. And it doesn't really matter all this much because I'm probably going to have to reinstall Cold Waters along with everything else anyway, once I've finished playing around with the operating system overnight. So Yeah, Sturgeon instead of a narwhal, Grievous, mainly because, well, I've seen the narwhal, but I've never actually played the Sturgeon in the 1984 campaign before. So, it'd be interesting to see how it performs, considering this is basically the top boat for the 68 campaign, and the one that I am likely to be using. They also wanted to make it as hard as possible, and let's face it, the narwhal may be slow, but she's that quiet it's not really hard. Alright. So torpedo halfway to going live. And we have 95 solution on... God, it's only 4.8 kiloyards away. Torpedo 4, go for surface launch, and torp away, and broke a wire almost instantly. Damn it. Well, hopefully that goes active. I should have made that go active shorter. Have to hold course here at the moment because we're going to do a bit of an adjustment. Change the path of torpedo 1. And that's not good. Yep, they know we're here. Right, I'm going to cut the wires and we are... Speed 15 knots. Shit, I don't want to start cavitating. Alright, 10 knots it is. Full down on the ballast, full down on the planes. Sneaky bastard. Damage control. Alright, none of the rocket propelled depth charges actually hit us. Torpedo 4 has gone active, and Pressure 2 is out of commission. That'll teach you for firing at me. And torpedo 1 has gone active and is now tracking the Kara. Back to silent running. We'll use our speed just to bleed off a turn and bring us back into line with the Kara. And hold depth at whatever we level out at when we've completed the turn. Torpedo still running true on Kara, and at this point we're not seeing any other pings in the water, so I'm assuming these two boats are the only two that are floating around. So, for the Cresta there to detect me and get the rocket propelled depth charges off in my direction, clearly the Sturgeon is nowhere near as quiet as the 688 or the Narwhal, so it actually managed to hear us. And its noisemaker is out. Torpedo has been distracted by the noisemaker. Come on, turn back to left. Good. So Kara's trying to maneuver left. It may... Nope, it's going to turn enough. Torpedoes acquired. God, I love how smart Mark 48s are. And boom. Two kills. Bring it back to periscope depth. Not that we actually need to. That looks like everything in the area. Yes, dead meat was one of my groomsmen at my wedding. Can't stop listening to 80s style synth techno, nothing wrong with that. Alright, so at this point it's looking like, well, there's no more noise in the water, so I think we are pretty much clear to exit out, and we're going to... No, we have aircraft nearby. Oh, really? One of these bastards must have got a helo up first, and the helo is still tracking. That was the noisemaker. Mk.II is down, Kara is down. And we've got no indicators for a... Yeah, nothing, no dipping sonar indicators that I can see. But we still have an aircraft nearby. Well, this is interesting. At this point, let's set a course that way. We'll maintain current depth. What are we at? Actually, no. Let's set depth to 500. Increase speed to 20 knots and see if we can just run out of the area on time acceleration. Ah, always getting shot at. That's just the way things are supposed to go, isn't it? Oh, the creaking of the hulls hitting the bottom. Alright, dead meat. Catch you later, mate. Yeah, K27 is most likely. Just gotta basically outrun it. Considering I'm not getting an indicator for the dipping sonar, it's interesting. It won't actually... Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're not getting an indicator for the dipping sonar, so I figure it can't be that close at this point. The Mk.II definitely had a good solution on me. I don't think the Kara knew exactly where the hell I was at all, in the slightest. And there we go, now we can leave. Alright, leave combat. Mk.II sunk, Kara sunk. Still have 15 Mark 48s on board. And we should be fully loaded, which is excellent. Excellent results, but unfortunately this was not your mission objective. I know it's not. And now, we fight the submarines that we missed out on killing before. So, EXO reports, our depth 50 feet, our speed 5 knots. Excellent, they won't hear us. Interesting, we haven't moved, but we've now got a thermal layer at 97 feet. Scattered moderate breeze and weak surface duct. Sonar contact bearing at 84. And we are loaded, 3 Mark 48s and 1 Moss in the tube. So at this point, let's go. Right, so first things first, silent running. And I want to set my depth to 200 feet. Actually, set my depth to 100 feet. That'll get us just on the thermal layer, and then I will adjust from there. Now, that's contact 84. Cool. Sometimes you'll get a contact that's in a different location than the one listed, but that first listing will actually tell you at least the bearing to one target. Now this time we're playing with submarines, so this is going to be a hell of a lot more fun. Now, they were getting resupplied, and this is the resupply group, so these are likely attack subs as well. Oh shit. Designate Sierra 1 kilo. Oh, this thing's gonna be fun. Okay. So, we're at 100 feet. Let's get us down a little bit deeper here. 15 down, maintain silent running, and I'm going to put a little bit of starboard on here as well. Go 10 over on the rudder to the starboard. Bring the kilo up on the port side, and hopefully we'll be able to start getting a solution on him faster than he can get one on us with the towed array. At 5 knots, he may not have been able to detect us. Actually, we can check that. If he goes active right now, he's going to see us, but currently on passive, he cannot see us. But it is getting to be a near thing. Unfortunately, the sonar, or the sonar and sensor equipment in the Sturgeon is nowhere near up to the capabilities of the Kilo. The Kilo is an extremely modern diesel electric. They are lethal little machines. Very hard to hear, very quiet, extremely good sonar equipment. Basically, it's a newer, better boat than what I've got. Not something I was expecting to encounter as my first submarine in this campaign. But that is the fun of playing with elite difficulty level. The game will just throw the top subs at you out of the bat, and hopefully you don't mess it up. Alright, just looking at the contacts at the moment, we're only on 55, so that's possibly not his exact location, but he does appear to be moving sort of northwest direction, which should, if we're lucky, bring him into full detection with the towed sonar array in just a moment. That's working. We're up to 61% solution. And we're still at -5, -4. Chase, so this isn't the insertion group, though. This is, the shipping that we just took out was the escorts for the tenders that we're supposed to destroy in the last mission. That's where we were heading. And the Kilo here is likely the submarine that will be, oh, she just went active. Yeah, the Kilo was a submarine that was likely getting, resupplied. Yeah, I'm going to do a short launch here. Yeah, she's going to turn. Torpedo away and tracking. And I'm just going to let this one cut loose. Counter torpedo has been launched. And not yet. And we've lost the torpedo. Alright, I'm going to give it... There it is. Alright. Current speed. 15 knots. That's right, I can hold 15 knots. Looks like my torpedo is acquired. Theirs likely has as well. And 15, I should be right to fire this. Please don't break the tube. Moss is away. Alright. Loading second Moss. Hoping I can get under. And she's acquired me. Decoy released. Flank speed. She's going to track back to the left, and my hope is she's going to silent. she'll pick up the moss and keep going. Shoot 2 away. Shoot 1 away rather again. Broke that wire almost instantly as well. And come on, track back to the right. Don't continue your circuit. It's going to continue your circuit. You bastard. This thing is no 688 when it comes to turning capability. Crap, that's a second. Okay, it looks like one of the fish has acquired the moss and is following it, and hopefully the second one has as well. No, second one's still on search pattern. Right, maintain flank. We just need to open some distance between these before they decide to turn back. And it's Kilo. Misidentified my submarines here. Now that was Kilo, not. That is not a Kilo. Where the hell did those extra torps come from too while I'm at it? That was a Tango. See, switch here in the subline. That's how easy it is to misidentify. It is like 3 pixels out of place. Well, the Tango was much easier to deal with, but there was too many torpedoes there as well. Let's go to silent for a second. Let's bring it around. 900 feet. We're going to use the speed bleed off from running at flank. And just sit on passive for a moment. I didn't see where that second torpedo came from, but it didn't look like it came in the direction of this Tango, which I misidentified. Sierra 2 behind us. Okay, let's see if I can get this one right. What the hell have we got? Haven't got much of a signal on this. Possible Foxtrot, and it's detected at this range. I would say very possible. I'm going to reset. Depth's it running? It's running near the surface. Let's reset depth. Let's go to 150 feet. And begin making our way back. Foxtrot and a Tango would make sense in a group, actually. Yep, this is what Cold Waters is like. It's a lot of almost playing chess to try and position yourself, and then when shit goes hot, it goes hot very quickly. One ugly submarine. If you're talking about the Tango, yeah, it is. If you're talking about the Sturgeon, I don't think so. It's not that bad. It's just an older design. This is, as I was saying to everyone before, this is the top submarine. It's the equivalent of the Los Angeles class 688 in the 1968 campaign. It's pretty much the best boat that's available. It's the one that I'm planning on doing for my 1968 campaign, which I'm hoping to start in the coming week, which will be on the main YouTube channel, not played here. The major difference between the version here in the 1984 campaign and the one in the 1968 campaign is the performance isn't quite as good. And more importantly, you don't have access to things like the Mk.48, which is just an amazing torpedo. Alright, so that's one taken out. If that is, in fact, a Foxtrot, I'm really, really not scared of him, so I'm going to bring this to... yeah, we're going to bring this up to top. Actually, we're going to change depth. We'll change depth to 250. I have no concerns about cavitating at this point. Although I probably should until... actually, this is a good point. Speed back to 10 knots for the moment, because there is one active torpedo still looking here. It's probably better to not go at cavitating at flank speed, chasing after this Foxtrot while it's still active. Although it shouldn't last too much longer. Soviet torpedoes don't have a huge amount of fuel. They don't operate for a very long time. It is likely to self-destruct extremely soon. Actually, probably the best way to get around this actually to bring our depth to head up to 50 feet, bring us above the thermal layer, and the thermal layer has changed, so just running some time acceleration so we can not have to wait so long, and there it goes, runs out of fuel. Alright, now we can bring it back down. Really? Going to cavitate there? Oh, there we go, now we can hit 20 knots. Actually, we'll bring it up to flank speed 22, and we're still cavitating. Oh, and torpedo in the water. This way, as a general rule, when I'm playing and not streaming and I'm not in any rush to get to the next section of the action, I generally won't use time acceleration too much because stuff like that happens. Although again, I suspect this is a Foxtrot. I think I've got it right this time for this particular grouping, so I am not too concerned with that torpedo launch. Is going active. Had Wi-Fi Grow still trying to find another sub in this match. Do the Russians ever try and make things look nice? Sometimes. Russians have always been function over form for how they design most of their stuff. But that being said, the Sierra class is gorgeous to look at. The Alpha is also a beautiful looking submarine. Yeah, he went high with that torpedo and off center, so it's just going to track continuously this way. I'm pretty much already past it at this point. Yeah, Alpha is a gorgeous design as well. Some of the designs can be very, 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 very sleek, but it comes down to the designs are made attractive if that attractiveness also serves a function. The Alpha is an incredibly sleek looking submarine, but it's also a submarine that the Soviets wanted to be capable of doing over 40 knots. So if you want to do that kind of speed, you know, you need to make the submarine sleek. It's the only way to do it. You've got to make it cut through the water faster. Sierra was designed to fight against things like the 688 and to be able to compete in an environment where the Seawolf exists, so it needs to be smooth, it needs to not make a lot of noise. Again, so it comes out with what would be defined as a really beautiful design, but it needed to be. A lot of the Soviets' older designs weren't all that attractive because the equipment that was in the water didn't necessitate the design to be that refined. Yeah, November's not an attractive machine. Although you got to give it to them, some of their less attractive designs have been rather classic. Thinking about aircraft designs, the Foxbat isn't something that I would traditionally define as being a particularly attractive. That's a torpedo in the water. Alright, so we're at 10 knots this time. We are going to counterfire. The Foxbat is not something that I would define as being a particularly attractive looking aircraft, but it is a classic design nonetheless. 2 in the water. We're going to bring it up to 15. Now. Oh, God, he timed those well. I was hoping to get under those. We're just going to let that go. You know, he's closer than I thought. Decoy away. Boom. Dirty bastard. Now, I've got to dodge his torps. Depth 750, yeah, we should be good in terms of how much depth we've got. It would be really nice if this thing turned harder at speed though. Okay, Torp 1 is tracking a decoy. Torp 2 is tracking away. I'm going to cross the hull. These torpedoes are going to come back. I'm going to cross the hull. Yeah, we're nearly at 1,000 feet. That's 1,000 feet. The idea of crossing the hull of the wreck is if these torpedoes turn around and actually manage to pick me up, which is possible, but I'm thinking at this point possibly unlikely. That one didn't pick us up already. If they did, however, if I dive close to the wreck of the submarine that I just killed, the torpedoes will acquire the noise that it's making, and if I drop a decoy right on top of it, they will likely shaft the extra torpedoes straight into the side rather than into me. Alright, so I'm going to maintain 25 until we are clear of the area. 25 knots, I thought this thing would only do 22. That's an improvement. You gotta get deep for it, I guess. And I think we are clear to get ourselves out and go to ultra quiet. Pop ourselves back to the surface before we crash, although we should have a good 300 feet extra space there. Don't have to be attractive to be talented. Susan Boyle, for an example. This is true. Foxtrot looks like it does its job and nothing else. Yeah, well, the thing to remember with these two boats here is they were designed in the 1950s, based on designs from the 1940s. So, yeah, that's all they need to do. They do their job, and that's it. Kind of like how most of their earlier surface vessels didn't go for reloads in magazines. They just stick all the missiles on the deck where it's easy to get at them and fire them. Yeah, it's practical. Not ideal in the long run, but a lot of the it's like stories from a lot of the Russian missile boats, specifically surface boats. They weren't designed to survive an engagement. They would be capable of sailing home, well, at least they should be, after an engagement, but the actual act of firing their own missiles would perform such a level of damage to the ship that the ship itself would need to go back to a dry dock and be repaired after the engagement. It wasn't designed to, you know, be able to fire, reload, and continue conflict. It was unload everything you've got, then boat go home, new boat come in and replace. It meant they could build the boats much faster and much lighter. They didn't need to worry about the engineering of making them survive the engagements fully. Yeah, that's exactly right, Chaser. I actually quite like some of the Russian designs. It is interesting to see the difference between some of the over-engineered pieces of work that some of the Western countries put out, and let's face it, some of the equipment is over-engineered, and then looking at some of the Russian designs which are made to do exactly what is asked for them and not a single smidgen more. Still weapons nearby, so we still need to get far enough away. That's right, we can do some time acceleration at this point until they run out of fuel and pop, or we get clear of them. And the other one is gone. There we go. So, 2 submarine kills. Beautiful. No, we don't want to abandon ship, we just want to leave combat. So yeah, Romeo and Tango. Down to 12 Mark 48s. Excellent results, however, this was not your mission objective. No, it wasn't. Speaking of which, what the hell was my mission objective? I've forgotten now. Review orders. Commandos. Andoya. So we've got to get to Andoya. Alright, continue on course. Keep speed slow because we do have a surface fleet operating in the area. So we should... West Germany lost. West Germany has fallen to Soviet control after crushing assaults on the nation's capital and its key strategic points. God damn it, Germany. And that's what my after that will be my objective. We have new sonar contact, bearing 138, designate Sierra 1. Our depth 150 feet at 10 knots, heading 199. Strong surface start, strong thermal layer at 102 feet. Status report, 3 Mark 48s and a Moss loaded. It's my last Moss. This shouldn't be too much of an issue. These are almost exclusively tangos. Alright, 2 battle stations. Silent running. There is our first target already lined up. Pretty sure I know what it's going to be, but I like to just double check everything because, obviously these games receive patches and it's possible that the devs will throw a spanner into the works, and I haven't had a chance to play whiskey. Ah, yes, not Tango's Whiskies. My apologies. And yeah, that will be her. This thing will not be hard to kill. It depends on whether it's got an escort, but the whiskey itself is not going to be hard to take out. They're blind, deaf, and dumb. If I maintain silent running and just slip in quietly, I should be able to get close enough to actually tap her on the hull before she detects me. That button. It looks like she's heading directly for the shore, which is about what I would expect. And she's estimated at 8 knots. So if we continue on course here, she's going to be moving slightly faster, and we should be able to slip nicely into her baffles without her realizing that we're even there. God damn it, Germany, stop being overrun. It's like some of the crazy things Dad said as they tested on Cobras, like gimbal 30mm gun pod linked to the nose gun turret, that if you fired would completely ruin the gyro mount attached to the snub wing. Yeah. They may have ended in November, so all the Germans were drunk in Oktoberfest. Yeah. The military has a long-running history for testing crazy designs that were designed to, well, ideas that were designed to do one thing and one thing alone, and do it very well, and then destroy itself. And yeah, this should give you an idea on exactly how easy it is to detect the whiskey. We are not even trying at this point, and we are not lined up to get the towed sonar array, and we've already got a 95% solution. So I could execute this whiskey right now, and she would have no idea what's going on. And yeah, even if she went on active sonar at this point, she still wouldn't be able to hear me. If you want to see something ugly, this thing is mostly based on the World War II German Type 21, I believe. Again, diesel electric and ancient. Now, if I just run a little bit of time acceleration here, I wonder how close we can actually get. Going to hold this direction just for the moment. She's moving a little bit faster than as soon as she's pulling away, but I want to slip into the baffles. Alright, there we go. Increase to 10 knots. We've just jumped up to 3. But at this point, I should be in a baffle, so she shouldn't be able to hear me at all. Estimated speed is still 8 knots. Yep. She's gone to 12. And she just cavitated. Ah, okay, she's actually managed to detect me. Surprising, I wouldn't have expected that. Not that it's... Should one away. From here, sitting almost in her baffles, I didn't think she would have picked me up. It's odd. Although, maybe she didn't pick me up. She's just dropped to 5 knots. She's slowing down so she can hear. She heard something in the water and she's not sure what it is. So she's slowing down to give herself a better sensor solution. Ah, that's why. And this time now I'm completely in her baffles, so 50-50, and because I'm in line with that torpedo's in her baffles as well, so she can't hear it coming. I'm going to quickly turn off the active. I'm going to let this torp go passive. Torpedo has acquired. Let's see whether or not this whiskey ever detects this torpedo coming in. Yep, there she goes, cavitating. She knows it's coming. She should have no idea where it's come from. And the true beauty of the Mark 48. Manual control. Although, to be perfectly honest, this weapon is overkill. And that's another wreck on the bottom. Reload the torp tube. And we can watch this one sink. Yep, yeah, exactly right. The testing of crazy designs is exactly what gave us the A10 in the first place. They're still trying to replace that platform and failing miserably. It's kind of hard to, because you need somebody who's insane to design something that did what the A10 did in the first place, and now you got to find somebody who's even crazier to take modern tech and try and recreate it. Okay, so which tube's on which side of the ship? This is tube 1, 2, 3, 4. Tube 1 and 2 are on the left, tube 3, 4 are on the right. How they launch? Well, actually, I'm honestly not sure where they are on the Sturgeon. They don't seem to be forward launching. They will be side launching, but it hasn't got textures for the tubes. Should have been paying more attention when I was actually launching them. No, on the 688, it actually launches them sideways out of the sides of the ship, which is good to know, because what you can do, and I've tested, and it does work when you get into battles against far more modern, more advanced submarines, and Grivius was one of the first people who's in chat at the moment who actually noticed this. If you, say you've got a target over here, if you angle the submarine so that the tubes on this side are facing away from it, when you fire the torpedo will receive its instructions and it will come out. And as a general rule, if you fire from this side at a target that's over here, it'll break its wire straight away, so you won't have any control of the torpedo. But the submarine itself will actually shield the torpedo transient from the target. That's the sound that the torpedo tube makes when the torpedo is fired. The initial rush of bubbles and cavitation, the firing of the propeller in the torpedo, all of that. It shields that initial noise from the target. So while you won't have guidance over the torpedo as it's heading to the target will never actually hear the launch. So it'll have no indication that there is a torpedo in the water until the torpedo itself is actually close enough for the target to hear it, or until the torpedo sonar goes active. Hey, wrong person. Island. God, this stream's reaching out far and wide. Test dropping 500-pound bombs from a Cobra. Yeah, they've done helicopter bombing. The Russians actually do that, even today. Heinz and Mi-8s with, 250-kilo bombs strapped underneath, and they just fly them over the area and just drop them. An odd way to bomb, but, if the airspace itself is fairly well defended, it's not like it's not going to be effective. Did you watch the Cold Waters that Jingles did, and where was the enemy torp was manually guided towards him? I don't think I've seen that one. I generally watch Jingles stuff, same as I do watch a bit of Jive Turkeys as well. But yeah, I don't think I've seen that particular episode yet. And no vessels nearby, so we can leave combat and down to 11 Mark 48s. We're chewing through torpedoes fast here. Excellent performance locating and eliminating enemy submarines, transporting Spetsnaz commanders with orders. Okay, so one completed. Red sub sunk. So, new mission orders. Tactical situation. Satellite recon has revealed enemy radar group consisting of transiting at high speed towards the Soviet coast. We believe a small unwrapped force is operating in the area. You're ordered to interdict this group and sink any replenishment ships in the area. You may also let a chance. This is worded differently. I don't think I've actually run across this mission before. This may be a new one that's come in. You may also get a chance at the enemy warship. So the mission concept is the same, just the wording for this particular mission seems to be different. Transiting at high speed towards Soviet coast. I don't like the way it's worded. Locate and sink enemy replenishment force tankers and tenders. But all we've got is towards the Soviet coast. There's a lot of Soviet coast. And they detected us. We got picked up by that aircraft, I reckon. Underneath the forward edge of the conning tower below the waterline. I'll check that once we get external again. You see slightly different textured rectangles. Yep, we'll have a look at that. What time it is over here? It is currently 1:14 PM, just past lunchtime. That's why I delayed the stream for 20 minutes. I was finishing off lunch. Totally not watching the stream, viewing Discord and trying to play squad at the same time. Watching it just for the humour. Yeah, I always watch Jingle's videos, so I definitely want to tune in for that one. I'm just running a little bit behind. As I said, I've gotten to play with, I've been having some issues with the computer, so I've been, between making videos and doing a couple of streams that I've been doing recently, I've been doing a lot of fixes, which is actually what I'm going to have to do as soon as this is done. So, probably got another half hour, 45 minutes in the stream here, guys, at which point we will have to probably call it quits, because I'm going to need to basically format the computer and start again. Status report. So we've still got a MOS in. We've still got 3 Mark 48s loaded. Sonar contact is at 337. No surface duct, no thermal layer. And we're at 10 knots. And we're in the shallows. So it's silent. And 337, so she's on our right. We have no... There she is. Contact Sierra 1. Now we'll be surface shipping, judging from... Shit, torpedoes in the water already? What the hell? How? And that is a helicopter I can hear, which means I'm going to have dipping sonar in the water any second. Alright, 2 silent. Sneaky, 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 sneaky. I came in at 10 knots and somehow they still knew where I was. That torpedo shouldn't track like that either. Oh, shit, and it's going to require... No, don't cavitate. I have never seen a tracking path like that before. And it's acquired. Alright, now we can cavitate. Now it doesn't matter. Another decoy out. What the hell is that? Turn over. Give me 10. The torpedo itself was airdropped. I do know the torpedo was airdropped. That was dropped by that helo that we can just hear running in the background, which I'm going to have to look at in a moment. Can we get below this one? Come on, no, and we just got sunk. Holy shit. We came into the zone at 10 knots. They shouldn't have been able to know where we were, but we had torpedoes in the water almost the second the match started. They already had a helo in the air. And that torpedo, generally, when the torpedoes are tracking, they follow an S-bend in the direction they've been fired. But that one, just part-way through, turned and continued turning on its S-bend until it eventually found me. There is no tracking path like that I am aware of anywhere in the game. Wow, this is odd. Yes, snake pattern, yes. Snake pattern is when the torpedo moves to the left and right. But if you look back at that path, it turned left and right and then it just started curving in a circle while it was continuing a snake pattern. There is no setting for that. The problem is that this is pretty much game over because while it is shallow here, this is Soviet waters and the surface ships are still here. So there's a Kara and a Mk.II that somehow managed to do that, and that is it. Nuclear sub sunk. The Noose Titans, that is the end of the campaign. I can honestly tell you in all the hours that I've put into cold waters at this time, I have never seen a airdrop torpedo track like that before. That was something new. Something very, very, very new. And something that shouldn't be possible because airdrop, if it was a submarine launched torpedo and it was wire guided, I could understand. It's running an S pattern and it's being manually turned. I can get that. Dick move on the AI, but entirely possible. But an airdrop torpedo has no guidance outside of what it's programmed to do when it's dropped. It cannot be manually turned, so it can only follow its one preset course, which should have been along one common route, snaking in a search pattern. It should not have turned at all, for any reason. So, yeah. I have no idea. Russians got into northern Norway and to the Air Force base in real life, so you assume that you were on radar. I would only have been radar if I was on the surface, and I would never have been surfaced. All the travel in cold waters is done submerged. I had just crossed the detection net so that they would have known that I had passed over into their controlled waters, but to know my exact location down to the detail is odd. Yeah, exactly. It was acting like a wire-guided torp, but there is no way it could have been wire-guided. Oh, most of Europe is now occupied by the Soviets as well. There's apparently it's the one little in-joke with cold waters. The entirety of this war across Europe is dependent on your submarine and your submarine alone. Will you play more War Thunder on your YouTube channel? I've been putting up a lot of War Thunder videos recently. I don't play it as much as I used to, but that's because I've diversified the channel away from War Thunder, because I just do not like the idea of being reliant on a single game. Yep, AI boned me hard. That is putting it bluntly. Starting a new campaign or just calling it for tonight? We'll do something a little bit different. I was planning on another 45 minutes, but let's have a look at the single missions that are available at this point. Unfortunately, we've only got the stock ones. So, in the presence of wolves, action in the North Atlantic. What is this one? Orders that are intercept a replenishment force suspected to be operating somewhere in the North Atlantic, west of Iceland. They are supporting aggressive Soviet anti-convoy operations after several uneventful days spent searching sonar reports for contact. Okay. Occupied into Narvik. You know, I have never actually successfully completed this mission. Let's do this one, because I've never actually managed to successfully complete it. I've wiped out every single thing in the ocean. Sturgeon, skipjack, permit. That's right, it won't actually let you take out a narwhal, because a narwhal would make things too easy. Permit, 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 permit. Los Angeles, Sturgeon. We'll try it in the Sturgeon again. Actually, will we? I'm tempted to try the permit as well. No, we've been doing the Sturgeon for most of this, so we'll take the Sturgeon out again. And we will accept. What are we getting? We're getting the Pinto. Accept. Status report. We're supposed to be doing a insertion. So we're going to get 4 loaded in the tubes and absolutely nothing else, which is fine, because if we do this right, we shouldn't actually have to fire anything. All hands to battle stations. Silent running. Alright, so the basic idea here is we need to get our Sturgeon class from here to drop off some Special Forces guys. The catch is that in between there is a small fleet of Soviet ships that are all actively hunting for submarines, preventing us from being able to deploy anybody Special Forces. So yeah. And this is the problem with this mission, or this is why this mission is so hard to actually complete. One reason I haven't been able to complete it is because it's not that these ships are difficult to take out. You can go through and blow them all up, but you're not allowed to. The second you kill one of these ships, your mission is failed. If you're detected by any of these ships, mission is failed. Running 25 conditions. We want to get down below this thermal layer while we've got one, because the further in we get, we're going to lose this thermal layer. Once we're there, I can actually use the sonar to start getting IDs on all of these vessels. As you can see, we're up to 5 sonar contacts at this point. Time we level out here, we should be good. Alright, so signatures. Let's start having a look at what we've got here. So, contact Sierra 1. Now we can't assume anything in here either, because it is a random mix of ships and submarines that will show up in this mission. Feet leveled out, that's okay. Grasha 3. That looks about right. Sierra 2. I don't think it is a Grasha 3. But it's something close to it. leave that one as designation at the moment. It could be a potty. I haven't got anything good enough here in the waterfall. We'll leave that one for the moment. The important one to know at the moment is the Gresha, because it is the closest. Now it does have a towed array and it's at 0 at the moment, so it would be capable of detecting me. Actually no, I take that back. I think it's going to get to +10 to detect. But once you're detected, it will read down to 0. I'm just going to remember that. I can't actually clearly remember how that mechanic exactly works. But regardless, you don't really want to be above 0 at any time. -24 on passive, -7 on active. So that's what we want. There she is on the surface. Just doing her thing. And our job is to make sure we keep her doing that. We'll stay at ultra quiet. We don't want to get detected here. And where's she going to maneuver to? Use a bit of time acceleration. Now I know she's going to turn, but she has to turn, otherwise she's going to run into the shoreline. The question is, okay, I can deal with you turning that way. That is going to leave me in your battles. And somebody is active. Full stop. Great, she's pinging. Why are you pinging? Only at 7 on active, and you're not reacting to me, so I'm assuming you can't actually see me at the moment. Can we expect more DCS at some point? DCS was actually the trigger for me starting this whole repair on the computer. The most recent patch for DCS, after updating, refused to boot. DCS just simply wouldn't load up. I couldn't fly. There was nothing I could do. Keep ship on ultra quiet. So yeah, I couldn't actually play DCS. So I uninstalled all of DCS and started trying to reinstall. And at this point, DCS's reinstall has failed on 6 separate occasions. Which is why there's been no DCS up. I've been fighting with the clients, trying to get them back onto the computer. And just the day before yesterday, I started having problems with Elite Dangerous as well, and I was doing some testing, and it looks like my operating system has just had enough. 7 months of the abuse that I put it through, doing videos and editing and constantly reading and writing data off the drives, and it's finally gone kaput. So yeah, I will be doing a full reinstall on Windows, and as soon as that's done, DCS is on the short list of stuff that will be reinstalled to the computer. Fingers crossed here, we're going to slip in behind the Gresha. Oh, she's beginning to turn. That's alright. Let's jump out here. She's going to make a turn and she's going to come back. Damn, I wanted her to turn this way. We got more active pingers through here. So yeah, it's not just trying to dodge them, sneak through silently with without them going active. They're actively pinging too, so we've got to avoid. Oh, he's continued turning through. This is good. I like this. I like this very much. Keep going. Yeah, we've got to play dodgems with the active sonar that these ships have. Oh, I don't like that. That's heading straight towards me. Okay. Come on, turn directly towards it. Thin out the profile of the Sturgeon in relation to the Gresher to minimize the amount of sonar reflection it will get, and then just shut down the engines and just hope that it doesn't see me. I think my chances are pretty slim, honestly. That path, I will be amazed if she doesn't detect me. We might get lucky with the thermal there, however. Alright. Straight on. Engines off. Although, her passive's at -24, so she's never going to hear the props running in the first place. It's whether or not that active sonar actually picks me up, or whether or not the thermal layer saves me from detection. Regardless, she is going to be close. We're at 7. No sign of a change of direction yet. We're at 11. Still not changing course. .29 on active at this point. She did just accelerate, and she's changing. Yep, she detected us. I'm almost positive she detected us. She's now in our battles. Interesting thing here is we go to 10 knots. This is nearby, although we haven't got a failed mission yet, so maybe she heard us but wasn't entirely sure. You go to 10, you can open up a bit of a gap at this point. Silent, and there she is. Only got a 58 on us, and she's still heading in a straight line. She may have just got enough of a glimpse at us to know that there was something here, and she's come looking for us, but didn't confirm our location, and now she's heading in a perfectly straight line trying to find us. She can't hear us. And her active sonar won't pick us up now because we are in a baffle, so we've just completely disappeared. That's cutting it fine. Yeah, since we got a confirmed -50, -50, I'm going to bring it back to 10 knots and open up a gap and try and get clear of her patrol path. Yeah, well, most of my viewers, Chaser, came for the War Thunder initially, but War Thunder's got a few things going on at the moment. Its popularity has definitely dropped. It is one thing, but it's also like it's not a game that appears to be crashing at this point, but it's settled. basically the people that are playing War Thunder are the people that have always been playing War Thunder at this point, and the numbers really aren't turning over all that much. You only have a limited amount of room for growth. And I've also been doing War Thunder for 3 years, so I don't want to just be restricted to playing that one game. I like doing other stuff too, so the stream's going to help here because I can actually throw some games up here that are stuff that I normally wouldn't play. Like last night, as much as I wasn't in the most fantastic mood for it, I did a stream with Semper, Griviues and Tal playing Warhammer Vermintide. Vermintide isn't something that I would normally put on the channel. It's not that kind of game, but I can sit back and do a 3-hour stream of it, having a good old laugh. When do I stream? I have no set schedule at this time. As soon as I have one, it'll be posted. At this point, I'm just streaming based on when I have time. Today's stream is entirely because, well, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to have a video up for the next 2 days. A mission failed, better luck next time. I actually don't think we did. I think we actually managed to somehow scrape past. Very fine, but managed to scrape past. Managed to check out the new Star Trek series yet? No, it is not aired anywhere in Australia, and I don't have any of the digital services to check it out, but I am looking forward to having a look at it. Pause that for a second and just check what's going on here. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to change course. A little bit of time acceleration, and time acceleration off. Now we're detected. Yep, we're detected. We're boned. The Gresher turned around and found us. Whoa. That one hit. That one hit. That one hit. You dirty mongrel. Get that bow sonar up. Jesus, cracked the hull. Alright, 1, 2. That is a mission failure. So, since we've failed anyway, hard and hard. Here comes the next set. Whoa, Jesus. And that one took out the reactor. One away, 2 away. And there's nothing to reload. So I shouldn't have bothered cutting those tubes. Now at this point, this has just become a mission of actually managed to escape. Reactor damage, 8 minutes to repair. Torpedo 1 gone active, it's detected a target. Torpedo 2 has gone active, target detected. And get some sweet revenge here if we're lucky. It's not there, it's much closer than that. These torpedoes know where she's at. I'm gonna get the reactor fixed. At least I don't appear to be sinking, so I'm not in any worse place. Yep, there's the countermeasures, she's just over here. So torpedo 1's gone left, torpedo 2 goes right. They should both turn back in, acquire from both sides. Gresher 3 will be the meat in the middle. looks like Torpedo 2 has... Torpedo 2's got the target. Torpedo 1 failed to acquire. Come on, find him. Our sonar is repaired. Excellent. That's a start. And we got left 3 minutes on the reactor before I can actually get this thing moving again. X-48s are really struggling to find this bloody thing. If that one doesn't watch it, it's going to plow into the shoreline. You can hear the engine sounds. We're peeling right around the hull at the moment and just not connecting. Until the reactor is up. Boom. Did we get one? Yep, we got him. Bastard. Had to ruin all my fun. Not that I wasn't exactly expecting this. There is a reason why I've never completed this mission on this difficulty level before. Or ever, actually, because I don't really play below this difficulty level. 0 minutes. Alright, we'll just do a little bit of time acceleration. Reactor is repaired. Oh, no. That's not what I wanted to hear. Ah, shit. Get the reactor up and running immediately with the airdrop torpedoes. Actually, no, reverse and turn. Silent running. What's it doing? Yeah, it's on a patrol back. Oh, yeah, I forgot to turn my steam pop-ups again. Oxide's playing War Thunder, everybody. Get in contact with Oxide again. I haven't spoken to him in ages. What are you going to do? 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 And you're going to track away from me, I hope. This thing right on the bottom. As far down as we can go. Which may not be such a fantastic idea considering the damage that I've already taken to the hull and the pressure it's going to be involved, but... Oh, no. That doesn't mean I want to touch the bottom. Up. Oh, no. Too much pressure. Damn it. On the upside, we still managed to dodge that torpedo. Unfortunately, Jimmy, it won't actually let you do that. As you see, as soon as you touch the bottom, you actually take significant hull damage. It's actually one of the things that I find really annoying about Cold Waters. You can't lay a submarine on the bottom to avoid. It's not a tactic that actually works within the game. The bottom, what's the thing? The floor is lava. We're going to take the torpedo on the side now because, yeah. No survivors. Fucked. But yeah, you can't lay it on the bottom, otherwise I would use that tactic a lot. Hole in my left. I got a hole in a few places. Might as well take him down with you. Damn right. Soviets have occupied Western Europe. This one here, yeah, I've given up on War Thunder a long time ago. Yeah, man, many people have. I still like it now. I just, how do I put it? War Thunder is not the place I go to find anything realistic, although it hasn't been for a very long time. War Thunder is a fantastic arcade game. Even in the realistic battle modes, even in the sim battle modes to some extent, it's a fantastic arcade game. Well, it may be possible, Grievous, but I've never found a practical usage for it, and I don't think it actually makes a difference to your detection ratings if you manage to do it either. Like, once you lay a submarine on the bottom, if you can manage to do it without damaging, you become the bottom. A submarine on the bottom is virtually indetectable. Do submarines have some sort of lifeboat or escape pod, or if everyone just die? It depends on the submarine. A lot of them will carry basically small oxygen tanks and breath masks that you put on, and providing you're not too deep, the theory is if the submarine is going down, you crack the doors open to the outside and just swim to the surface. Of course, that causes problems if you're at 1,000 feet down, because there's this wonderful little thing called the bends, and yeah, not good. If you are just not killed trying to escape the submarine in the first place, of course. Game volume needs to come down ever so slightly. Yeah, I can tinker with that some more, although at this point we're going to run this one to the rear. What are the chances we can get some DCS in the near or distant future? I actually answered this one earlier on. Basically, I've been having some issues with DCS, and it's triggered what will be, well, once I finish off the stream here, a full reinstall of my operating system. Once that's fixed, DCS is going to be one of the first things reinstalled, and yes, there will be some DCS on the channel very, very soon, and possibly some DCS on a stream as well. So, yeah, actually this reminds me. So having a look at some of the texturing here. But yes, it depends. Some have the breath mask to escape the submarine. Some have, what are they called again? They're not, it's not breath mask, it's artificial lungs, I think is the correct term. Although again, that varies from submarine to submarine. Escape pods boats. I wasn't actually familiar with any actual escape pods on a modern submarine, but that's actually interesting to know. I'll have to look more into that. I generally don't spend too much time looking for how people get out of them when things go wrong. And there's not really ever been too many of them lost. Would you do some DCS with Ralphie Dude? I would love to. I've never actually spoken to Ralphie Dude ever. So, yeah, we don't know one another. But I have watched some of his content. Pretty cool guy. I'd love to do some stuff with him. And the US retired the rescue submarines some bay. Yeah, as I understand it, the only rescue submarines that are still in service out of the United States are in private hands these days. And if they were needed, I guess the US military would just hire them. Anyways, ladies and gents, just wanted to go through the last questions that were popping up on the stream chat, and I'm going to call this one here with a nothing but a sunken wreck on the bottom. Actually, I have to say this is probably the most impressive wreck that I have ever had. God, she got pounded. But this is a 1968 design, playing on elite difficulty, trying to compete in a 1984 environment, so I shouldn't expect anything less. Regardless, this has been fun. Now, my plan is, at this point, in regards to, since it was asked before, in regards to streaming schedules, and I said I haven't got one worked out yet, but I'm planning on running at this point, a 1984 campaign that will be sustained for Cold Waters. I will probably be doing the Narwhal or the 688 when I do that one. I will also be doing a retro stream, which I'm going to try and have to assign day. At this point, I'm actually going to be playing MechWarrior 4 Mercenaries from in the early 2000s. I haven't played that game in over a decade. I tested it the other day. It is working. I haven't seen whether or not I can stream it yet. But my plan is to do that one and do a sustained retro gaming stream that will be fixed for every week. And then between those two, I may stream it any day or at any time that I am out flying in War Thunder, IL-2 or DCS. I just hit the buttons and go. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show, and until next time, dive smart, dive safe, and I'll catch you in the depths.